Howdy, howdy, howdy. How y'all doing? Welcome back to Spirit and Consciousness, Self-Care Worship Sundays. Today's concepts are going to be on emotional wellness and a little blend of self-awareness like we did last week. Just building on top of one another. I'd like to start off and welcome us into a prayer slash meditation to gather ourselves before we start to worship today. So that everybody can get a nice relaxed posture. Try to clear their minds and just be present with us today. Keep a couple short breaths. Deep breaths. Sorry. As we start our session. Okay. So today we're going to be discussing emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the skill that allows us to actively actively be aware of our emotions and try to assert type of control over them or regulate them, better word. Express ourselves with clarity and empathy. And it's that tool that enables us to navigate through our complexities, whether relationship, work, really life, with the grace and understanding of self-awareness to add to the ability of making clear perspective and when responding to our emotions, or even using our emotions to create some type of motivation, a boost for the day, whatever. They are not just we don't only have the ability to respond to our emotions, but we also have the ability to create our emotions to whatever outcome we desire. Today, we're also gonna go through the threads of spirituality and consciousness, the aspect of our being allows us to connect our emotional experience with our deepest value and the greatest reality beyond our physical senses. As we move through our discussion, let us embrace the journey of connecting these aspects to foster a more fulfilling and spiritual aligned life. Go ahead and open up my whiteboard. Zoom in a little bit for you. We're going to start here by discussing our 5 key components of emotional intelligence. We start off with self-awareness, foundation that honestly helps provides great context towards um, understanding, being able to reflect and recognize certain patterns, recognizing one's emotions and their impacts. We have self-regulation, managing and redirecting disruptive emotions and impulses. We also have motivation, harnessing emotions to fuel enthusiasm, persistence, and drive. As well, empathy helps us understand the emotional makeup of other people. And then lastly, our social skills, handling relationships and building networks. So these are our key components when it comes to understanding our emotional intelligence, understanding what factors may be, I guess, presented within ourselves, whether it's like it's say self-awareness, regulation, motivation, empathy, social skills. We use this every day in life through certain circumstances, such as self-awareness. we're probably using that when we're sitting here in a mood and we're trying to just gather ourselves. Self-regulation is what we do during those moods to help bring us back to the positive or just keep us balanced or calm at that time through other circumstances. We have motivation, which allows us to harness that energy from our emotions to fuel us, fuel us so we can continue to feel, I guess, what's the word? Stimulated or motivated to do something. And then our social skills, oh, sorry, I skipped it. The empathy or compassion is honestly what helps us connect with people. It kind of twists us into social skills. What are your thoughts? Talk to me. Don't see too much activity in the chat, so I'm gonna move forward. Enhancing emotional intelligence through self-awareness. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of emotional intelligence. It involves looking within to understand one's true nature, emotions, and the motives behind our actions. The practice of emotional intelligence, especially in spiritual contexts, fosters a community of compassion and understanding. It enhances our ability to empathize with others and communicate effectively, laying the foundation for a connected and spiritually aligned community. Through the lens of emotional intelligence and self-awareness, we can better navigate ourselves through our spiritual paths and foster a deeper connection with the divine and others. We'll go to our next segment. Um, First of the day. Sorry, skip that. But our next segment is going to definitely dive more into that. But our verse of the day is what I picked out for this specific workshop that I thought aligned with it. It's Matthew 7, verse 12, King James Version. Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that man should do to you, do you even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets. There's that is an amazing, amazing verse. It honestly refers back to that golden rule, which we all know. We uh seen it within our holy books, been continuously one of those themes within that manual, like I like to call it. But compassion, embracing empathy, and treating others with kindness and respect as you would want yourself to be treated. This is the essential component towards emotional intelligence and spiritual growth. Not only does it help you heal, but it allows and it encourages individuals that you come around to feel considered. And that does so much when it comes to those times where we feel like we're alone or dealing with our own stuff. Just a little bit of somebody's compassion could go a long way. What are your thoughts on that? A beautiful verse. Let's move on. Bring out some biblical stories that reflects on emotional intelligence and self-awareness. We're gonna draw inspiration from our Holy Bible and see which stories really allow us to reflect on our emotional intelligence, self-awareness. We have King Solomon's story. This story offers a lot of insight towards understanding as well as he regulates and tries and manages his own emotions and tries to uplift other people. His wisdom and his ability to discern judgment reveals a deep level of empathy and social skills. We also have David's story. David's Psalms, they provide a window into his soul, showcasing his vulnerability and self-awareness. His writing reflects an honest and profound relationship with God, acknowledging his feelings of joy, despair, seeking forgiveness, and thereby demonstrating emotional self-awareness and expression. There's so many stories that when I go through the Bible that I see that literally it's almost like a manual or even as a lesson to us to help us understand this life, living in this life, or living in this mode of life. A better way to say that. We can move on to the next story, which is a story maybe most of us are very keen to understanding the story of Jesus Christ. How one powerful instance is when he claims the storm of the Sea of Galilee. This is shown as his disciples are terrified, but Jesus remains composed and then eventually demonstrates his self-regulation and as well his divine authority to calm the sea. And this shows that inner part of us, that no matter the storm, no matter what it may feel like, no matter what it may be, if we keep that conscious connection with our divinity, we can remain calm and balanced and move the storm. That much I believe. What are y'all thoughts on those though? What is this saying to y'all? Okay. I gave it a little bit more time just in case some were typing or trying to gather their thoughts. Now when it comes to Solomon's story, it 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 was echoes to me. Echoes of how one can grow through life with so much prosperity and abundance, but yet still not, I guess, recognize the 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 joys in life, the simple things, the good. And it took King Solomon up to old age to recognize a lot of these things, no matter how wealthy, how wise, no matter what physical thing was bestowed to King Solomon. It took to old age for King Solomon to recognize a lot of the emotional intelligence and have such a grasp on his self-awareness through his life. Move on to the next segment since I don't see no typing still. This segment's going to be spirit, where we discuss spirituality and consciousness and how those correlate towards emotional intelligence. As we contemplate this profound synergy, let us think about how it serves towards our spiritual development. Emotional intelligence and self-awareness serves as a gateway to a richer spiritual life. They enable us to navigate our inner landscape with mindfulness and compassion, leading to a heightened state of consciousness. Through emotional intelligence, we learn to understand and regulate our emotions, which is pivotal in our spiritual practices that aim for peace and enlightenment. That as we engage in spiritual disciplines, let it be prayer, meditation, or through our studies, we often find that our emotional awareness sharpens. The increased perception shows us to recognize the emotions that arise during these practices, providing us with a deeper insight into our true self. Spiritual growth is linked to how we manage our emotions. As we develop our spiritual intelligence, we naturally cultivate the skills of emotional intelligence like empathy and self-regulation, which furthers our ability to connect with others and the divine on a more profound level. Let us embrace this journey of self-discovery, which each step taken in emotional intelligence can lead us to a greater spiritual awakening and a consciousness that transcends our everyday experience. I honestly think through my life, my experiences is what led me towards understanding my emotional intelligence and just being more aware of myself. It was honestly through not being aware, not regulating my emotions, is where a lot of these lessons come. Whether it was through those circumstances that I created, whether positive or negative, but really the negative ones is kind of what the door knocker was. It was like I was attempting to close as much door as possible in order to run away and just drown or act like those things didn't exist, or whether or not I had an awareness there. But it was too much caught up where the door honestly got slammed open, where I couldn't look back anymore, and I had to keep going down this path in order to better myself and better those around me. And through this, I found balance. I found myself, found me, and I found the greatest gift there is to be. On that note, we're going to get to the end of our segment and let us gather what thoughts and what came up through our segments today. What are the things that you internalized? What are the things that we're going to take away? What are some things that we could apply? Whether it just be for today, this week, this month, this quarter of a year, or this year. Let us come back in our next section even more aware, a little more developed, a little bit more closer towards that peace and abundance in our lives that we are desire for. We're gonna go towards our prayer request segment where I offer a chance for our viewers to ask whatever prayers they may want for the week or for a month, whatever the case is. And also where we also give a chance for our viewers, as myself, to share any blessings that God provided this week. As I usually open the floor for everyone to respond first. If no one that wants to come up and go, I will go first and start off with my blessing for this week. My blessing for this week was this much closer to closing. This much closer. And that's going to provide such foundation, especially when being able to connect with other individuals who have such a similar path and they already have been such great mentors and guidance towards me. And I don't even know if they know that. So I do think that is such a blessing because once again, it's not only going to help me grow, but also help me be able to reveal this part of me a little bit more. It may allow this to transform something bigger that maybe has a greater impact on our world. My prayer request is well, I have a sibling's birthday coming up this weekend. I hope to have I hope for him to have a great and amazing birthday. I hope for all his desires and wishes to come true. And I also, to add to my prayer request, wish for all I know and the ones I don't know to continue to heal, and God blesses all with prosperity and peace. I'll let you guys go if there's any people that want to add in. If not, I'll close up my whiteboard and we'll conclude that show. It was amazing getting to be here and speak with you all. As always, I wish y'all a blessed and amazing week. May we come back here and be able to share our weeks, if anything. See y'all next week and have a blessed and amazing week once again. Thank y'all.